Yes? Maybe? I think that's a yes. Happy Monday, everybody. It's so good to see all of you after a week of being away. I didn't do any live streams all last week because I was out of town. And for those who have been following me on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, you'll know exactly why. I've been producing a lot of content. And I'm not done. I've got much more to go, much more to share. But I'm back home, and I'll probably be sifting through all of the footage that I recorded while I was away for days and maybe even weeks to come. So expect a lot more from me, a lot more news, a lot more stories to share about the trip, because it was quite an adventure. Got to meet a lot of amazing people, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. But while I was gone, my new computer arrived. It was just the perfect timing, right? It arrives while I'm out of town. So it had been sitting in my office for half a week. And I got home late Sunday. Well, it wasn't late Sunday. I got around midday Sunday. Then I had to go pick up my kids from their mom, and then I brought them home and put them to bed. The only moment I had to work on my computer was late at night. So I get in here late at night, and it's beautiful. It's amazing. You can see the edge of it here. I wish you could see it. Can I turn this around? Not ruining everything. I'm not going to ruin everything. Well done. There you go. A brief little glimpse. Just a brief glimpse of the new computer. There, a brief glimpse of the new computer. I ended up using Ironside Computing to put it together. I reached out to them to see if they wanted to do a sponsorship, and they didn't respond. But I'm happy to name drop them here because it's beautiful, and it worked. It worked. Thank God it worked. All I had to do was take my M2s out of my computer and put it into this one, and it fired right up. I did have a few problems because my hard drives had all of the drivers for my previous motherboard on it, so I didn't have internet connection. When I fired it up, it said that it couldn't establish a network. It didn't have any network drivers enabled, so I actually had to download the drivers for this motherboard onto this computer, transfer them to an external hard drive, plug that hard drive into this computer, install the drivers, and then magically the internet was working. So it took me a while last night to figure all of that out, but I got it working, and I stress test a few games. It's been on all day since last night, and it hasn't crashed or anything. So even at this point, I don't know what the problem was with my last computer. It wasn't the GPU. I switched it out. It wasn't the CPU. I switched it out. It had to have been the motherboard or a BIOS setting or something weird that caused it to crash only when I played video games. It was just bizarre. So yeah, I've got the hulking ruin of my last computer sitting over there, and I don't know what to do with it. But here we are. I'm back, and I'm ready. I'm ready to dive into Cyberpunk. Now the thing is, today I don't have a full day of broadcast time available. My son has a band thing going on, and he needs me to provide transportation. So I'm going to be doing that for the majority of my afternoon and evening. But I got like an hour. I got maybe a little more than an hour. And I feel like since we haven't seen each other in a week, even if I don't have a long time to play today, it would probably be good to go live, to sync up, reconnect. If you have any, questions about my trip, I can't answer everything, but I can answer some things. I should probably put this onto windowed borderless so that I can actually access chat. Really? It's not going to let me go? Oh, yeah, there we go. So, yeah, I got about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. We can sync up, and then I can dive in and run around Phantom Liberty, or what's the city called? Hero City? Night City. We can run around Night City a little bit, stress test my new computer, get into some trouble before I have to go. And then I'm hoping that my broadcasting schedule will be back to normal for the rest of this week. As I said at the beginning of this broadcast, I've got quite a content production schedule ahead of myself. I have a number of deliverables that I need to meet in addition to my regular content. And now that my computer is up and running, I can actually shoot Fallout 4 footage so I can get back to work on my full story of the Railroad. I've got one more episode to go, and then we complete the Railroad story. It's the epilogue. I've got most of my footage shot for that episode, but there's still a couple of things that I wanted to get before I produced the episode, and I didn't want to make an incomplete video, so I've been waiting, and now I'm ready. It's good to see everybody. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Kick. It's so nice having this right here. I don't have to... And look, I've got excellent FPS. Oh, I'm so glad to have this computer back. Good to see Little Frogman on Twitch, Toby Noble on Facebook, Sarah on Twitch, Cliff Jumper, Miss Frostbite, Valence, Jared Shover, and of course, great to see all of the regulars and the members and the Patreon supporters on YouTube today. Laura Elstad, Julian Z, Slatty Bard Fast. Julian Z coming in with the first super chat of the day says, "Hi Ox, so good to see you back. Please spill it. What was it like? Any updates besides what you posted? How was your trip? I'm so excited. Also, how's the new PC?" It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It was an amazing adventure. I'm so glad I went. Hold on a second. Okay, anyway, what was this? Sorry, I got a text. It was an amazing adventure. It was a wonderful opportunity. I can talk about a lot of things. I can't talk about everything just yet, but as you saw from many of the shorts that I've been publishing, the developers, so I went out of town because the Prime Video, of course, which is working on the Fallout TV show, they're doing a big, marketing campaign running up to the release of the show on April 11th. And they invited me, a number of other YouTubers and TikTokers who focus on Fallout, to come and enjoy an experience that they put up in Austin, Texas. They basically created a scrap city called Philly, with an F, not a PH, which is the name of the scrap city that apparently appears in the television show. And so we got to walk around, and there were a number of celebrities and game developers there that I got to meet, but I'll be getting into more of that as I produce more content on the issue. And they had NPCs walking around that you could interact with, and there was a scavenger hunt. You had to collect 11 pieces of pre-war loot, which I did. I found all 11 pieces. But the prize was just getting entered in a raffle. I think the reward was a special Fallout-themed Xbox or something. I'm not sure, but I never heard back on that, so I don't think I won the raffle. Anyway, I did find all of the pre-war loot, which I'm proud of. I mean, that's what I do. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's finding loot. Yeah, and then I got to hang out with lots of other really cool YouTubers and go to dinners, and they were also simultaneously promoting a new Amazon Prime movie called Roadhouse, which of course is a recreation of the original Roadhouse from many, many years ago. And it starred Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor and a bunch of other people. And I got to go to the premiere of that, which was cool. And even though I'm a Fallout YouTuber, they wanted me to talk about that as well. So I'll probably have some videos and some photos from that event. It was fun because the next day after the premiere of the video, they brought us into a room inside one of the hotels, and they had the stunt coordinator who developed all of the fighting stunts for the movie come in and teach us how to fake fight but make it look real. And that was a lot of fun. I got dressed up in my workout outfit. I had my shorts and my little sweatband, and I was ready. I was ready to do some fake fighting. And I got paired off with a partner, and then the stunt coordinator is teaching us how to, make a connection that looks like it's real. It's mainly about the reaction. Like it's the person receiving the punch who does all of the acting that makes it look. I developed a deeper appreciation for everything that goes into making a fight movie, right? Because this was a fight movie, and it was all about the battles and the melees, and they were convincing. It was a very visceral film, very visceral. The fights were very convincing, and I now know why. Anyway, it was great. It was a lot of fun. I'll be producing a lot more content on that in the future. Matt Rowland says, Ox, have you looked at the Forbidden West system requirements? High end looks pretty steep. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, Matt Rowland. Forbidden West. I haven't looked into that. Let's see if I can pop this open into my other browser here. Oh, right. Right, Horizon Forbidden West. I haven't looked into that just yet, but I've got a shiny brand new computer with a top of the line everything, so it should be okay. Thomas Arden says, hey Ox, did you meet any other content creators at the Fallout event? I saw you in another YouTuber's short. I did. I hope I don't butcher all of their names because I'm awful with names. But I got to meet the Epic Nate and Juicehead again. I had met Juicehead previously at the Fallout 76 Greenbrier event, which was amazing. But I think, and then I met Tunnel Snake's Fool, I believe her name is. She's on TikTok. And Mrs. Fallout, she's on TikTok as well. And Ian, I forget his handle though. I remember his real name. I forget his handle. He's on TikTok too. Oh, that's bad. I should really remember his handle. Anyway, yeah, I got to meet a lot of other Fallout YouTubers and TikTokers and Instagrammers and cosplayers as well. So it was fun. It was a great little time. Man of Warb says, hello, Ox. Thanks to this game. Whenever I hear Billy Joel's song, We Didn't Start the Fire, I mishear the lyrics, Chubby Checker Psycho, as Chubby Cyber Psycho. Ah, that is very interesting. Well, now I'm probably going to mishear that now for the foreseeable future as well. Thanks for sharing. Escape Goat gifted 1 Oxhorn membership to the community. Thank you, Escape Goat. Mr. Red says, hope you had fun in Philly. By the way, just to rant, why does the Fallout 4 assault rifle bad? If they wanted me to use a Lewis gun, could just use a mod, which I did. I don't know. I think everybody has conflicting opinions on the weapons in the Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. I like the assault rifle, actually. It's not my favorite. It's not my go-to weapon. But when I'm early to mid-game, if I find a legendary assault rifle, I'm totally happy to use it. It feels great to me. So, I don't know. Escapegoat says, I love you, Ox, but event time you stream my first super chat and make YouTube bug out. Till I restart my device and try with an eye different payment methods. It only happened with Ox streams any Davies. Escapegoat. Clearly there are some issues going on here. But I don't know. I promise you, my broadcast is not the one and only broadcast on YouTube that is causing you to log out of YouTube whenever you do a super chatting. There's no gremlin in my, well, maybe there is. I've had enough technical problems in my lifetime as a YouTuber that maybe there is a gremlin in my machine or my channel or something like that. But listen, I love you. I'm glad you're here. I don't know why it logs you out every time you do a super chat. Scapegoat, he says, any advice? Yeah, I don't know. I use multiple browsers for various different things. I've got one browser that I use just for YouTube, another browser that I use for all of the shorts that I publish to TikTok, and then another browser I use for email and financial stuff. So maybe try using different browsers. You could try Firefox, Chrome, Edge if you really have to, maybe even Opera. Try some of the more secure browsers and see if that works better for you. Kara Aerosmith says, hey Ox, I ordered my Explore the Lore hoodie. I'm so excited. Loved all the Fallout pictures. Also, have a great stream today. Thank you, Kara. I'm so glad you got your Explore the Lore hoodie and that it's on the way. Let me know how the print quality turns out on that. Would love to see a picture. Lerper Paliasani on Twitch says, the handmade rifle is cooler in my opinion. I like the handmade rifle, don't get me wrong, it's a nice rifle. I enjoy the look and feel of the assault rifle in Fallout 4 because it feels so ancient. It feels atom punk to me. It's just this big round cylinder and it's kind of bulky and I kind of like it. I kind of like the way it looks and feels. Yes, the handmade rifle is a bit more sleek and it's, cut down a bit and it's chunky. It kind of feels like an AK-47 a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, they're both good in their own ways. James17 on YouTube says, Ox, I was watching your Railroad playthrough and was wondering if the synths would want revenge for the Railroad ending their ability to reproduce. Thoughts? It's an interesting question. It seems like the game should have put more emphasis onto that reality when siding with essentially any of the other factions except for the Institute. Yes, by siding with the Railroad, and as a consequence, the Minutemen, we are saving the synths. But at the same time, we're destroying the ability for the world to ever have any more. We're destroying their production line so that they can no longer be made. Is that a form of genocide? It's really weird. It's a weird thing when talking about artificially constructed life forms. If you remove the ability for them ever to be created again, and they can't reproduce naturally, then is that a form of genocide? It's an interesting philosophical question, and I don't know the answer to it. I would have hoped that the game would have thought about that a little bit more and talked about that, but really, no one in the Commonwealth is concerned about that at all. Not even the Railroad. They just want to free the synths. They don't worry about how they'll be created in the future. Wasteland Wanderers says, hello, Ox. How excited are you for the Fallout series? I'm really excited. I keep getting more and more excited with everything that I see about it. Again, we don't really know. We don't really know because the episodes haven't dropped yet, right? We've seen trailers, we've seen marketing promotional material. So I maintain my cautious, optimistic viewpoint, and I'm hoping for the best. I haven't seen anything that has really turned me off, right? I still have a few lore questions, but I haven't seen anything that has, been a nail in the coffin. Oh my gosh, this is going to be bad. So I'm maintaining my cautious optimism. I can't wait to see an actual episode, and I'm looking forward to talking more about it when that happens. Potato Man says, how was Philly? Also, how was Nuka-Cola Victory? So Philly was great. What he's talking about is that the Jones Soda Company released a limited edition version of Nuka-Cola Victory, similar to how they released a limited edition version of Nuka-Cola Quantum several years ago. And I never got my hands on one of those. But when we were at Philly, the bar was serving the Jones Soda Nuka-Cola Victory. And I got one, but I only got one. So I didn't open it and I didn't taste it. I managed to bring it back with me unscathed. It's in the other room somewhere. But I didn't want to open it and, ruin it. So I didn't taste it. It's peach flavor, and peach isn't exactly my favorite flavor, so I'm probably not missing much in terms of flavor. But I still have it around here somewhere. I forgot where it was. I got so much swag at this thing. I think I walked away with 5 or 6 hats, with 3 or 4 different tumblers or mugs. Just they throw all sorts of stuff at you at these events. And of course, I've got a family, so as soon as I get home, my kids are claiming this and my kids are claiming that. So I don't have much of it left because my kids took everything. But yeah, I do have the Nuka-Cola Victory. It's somewhere. I'll have to show it to you. Maybe on Scotch and Smoke Rings. Marty McYourFliesDown says, "Hi Ox, would you ever play Ghost Recon Wildlands?" Never say never to a game. Ghost Recon Wildlands. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's an older game. I mean, not as old as Fallout 4, released in 2017. 95% of Google users like it, 9 out of 10 on Steam. Metacritic is 70%. Wow, okay. Well, it's certainly worth looking into. I'll have to look into it. The new guy says, "Hi, Daddy Ox. Glad to see you got the new PC since Ghost of Tsushima comes out on the PC in May. Can't wait for you to try it, and I'm sure you're gonna love it." Ghost of Tsushima is one of those PlayStation exclusives that I was really looking forward to having a PC port. It's weird because I've really enjoyed every single PlayStation exclusive that's come out so far that I've played, and I want to play Ghost of Tsushima, and so I'm looking forward to it coming out in May. Scapegoat says, "You look so tall in your photos. How tall are you?" I'm not that tall. I'm like 5'8", 5'9". It's just that I was around a lot of really short people. Like everybody was really short. The Epic Nate is an amazing guy. He was so much fun to hang out with. He's about here on me. Todd Howard. I got to meet Todd Howard. I didn't take any pictures with him because I didn't want to be that guy. But I got to meet with him and shake his hand, and I got to ask questions. He's like about here on me as well. he's a short guy, but a really nice guy. I was one of the taller ones, which is weird because I'm not especially tall. I don't know what it is about Fallout content creators and height. Anyway, I'm not that tall. I'm just a normal, average height. Mr. Red says, "Who do you have winning this fight? Captain Ironsides and Button Gwinnett, or Sarge and Prim Slim?" Wow. This is quite the fight that you've put together. Captain Ironsides and Button Gwinnett, or Sarge and Prim Slim. I'm going to have to go with the robots. Captain Ironsides, Sentry Bot, Button Gwinnett, a Protectron. And then we've got Sarge and Prim Slim from New Vegas. I don't know. Well, Sarge is from 2, right? Yeah, I'm going to go with the robots. There. Interesting question. Nick Valentine says, "In future charity streams, you could have an interview with Timothy Kane, one of the original Fallout creators. He has a YouTube of his own as well." Yeah, I could. Didn't I do that already? I've done a number of interviews. I did an interview with Tim Kane, didn't I? It was part of a charity. It was, yeah. And then what's his name was there as well. I already did an interview with Tim Kane and the art director of Fallout 1, Leonard Boyarsky. So if you want to see I published it on my channel. I did an interview with Tim Kane and Leonard Boyarsky, the original, they worked on Fallout 1, original co-creator of Fallout 1, and the art director of Fallout 1. So if you want to check out that interview, it's on my channel. Just Google Oxhorn, Tim Kane, Leonard Boyarsky. Scapegoat says, "I rewatch all of your old games, but I had to change devices due to hackers. Looking forward to rewatching all of your gameplays again. Any game planned for the future?" Hackers? Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that you got hacked, Scapegoat. Games planned for the future, I've got a list. Longtime viewers know that I've got quite a list because you guys keep on recommending amazing games to me. I'll tell you what I'm thinking about doing, and I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, one of the last times I was streaming. I'm really frustrated at the pace at which I get through games, and I realize that part of it has to do with my old man gaming skills. Part of it has to do with the fact that I like to loot everything and go into every corner and complete a game 100%, but I get through games really slowly. So I'm thinking, let me know what you guys think about this, I'm thinking of changing my strategy a bit where I don't necessarily complete games. I play a lot of different games and don't necessarily complete them. I'm interested in completing Baldur's Gate 3 since I've already gotten this far into it. I might as well complete it. But I'm thinking of just trying out a bunch of different games and seeing if I like them and then moving on to the next one. And then maybe I'll complete it. Maybe I'll come back to complete it. Maybe not. Okay, let's see if I can get my chat to update here. Bestruder says blasphemy. Completionist is our religion. Maybe. But then it took me forever to complete Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like a year and a half of playing that game. How long have I been doing Baldur's Gate 3? I think I'm on broadcast number 31 or 32, and I'm only in Act 2. God, it just takes a really long time. Some of these games, it's hard to complete. Escapegoat says, love to see you try Dragon's Dogma 2. The character creator is free on Steam. All right, Dragon's Dogma 2. Character creator. Oh! It's coming out later this year, March 22nd, 2024. Capcom. It looks interesting. Action role-playing game developed and published by Capcom, a sequel to Dragon's Dogma. Yeah, but what's the theme? Is it fantasy? Third-person perspective. Okay. Marked by a dragon. I mean, it's called Dragon's Dogma. I should assume that it's got something to do with dragons. Non-playable characters who join the party are AI controlled? What? What? Oh, we're already at that point? We're already at the point where an AI can control your companions in a game? Wow. Scary, but kind of cool also. Interesting. Well, I'll have to look into it. Thank you for that one, Escapegoat. Lurper Pelisoni says Red Dead Redemption 2 was really fun to watch. Thank you. It was really fun to play. That was one of those games where of course I had to finish it. It was so well done. The storytelling was so immaculate. The characters were just relatable that I had to finish it. I had to. Andreas Martinez says, hey, Ox, check out Those Who Remain. Those Who Remain. All right. Sounds post-apocalyptic. Or maybe Alien? Or maybe Rapture. Oh, it's Marvel? Wait, is it a game? Is there a Those Who Remain game? Oh, yeah. An up-close psychological horror. Confront uncomfortable horrors, keep your sanity in check, and survive the night in this story-driven first-person psychological thriller. Looks interesting. From 2020, so several years old at this point. Mostly positive reviews. Okay. All right. Certainly something to look to consider for Scotch and smoke rings. Courtney Zayas says, The Sinking City 2 has a trailer out. Really? Wow. Well, that happened while I was away. I missed that. So hopefully Frogwares is going to have an easier time with this game. I remember with The Sinking City, I'm glad we completed it when we did, because there were legal issues that caused it to get delisted from Steam. Is it by Frogwares? It is. Sinking City 2. By Frogwares. Okay, so it looks like they retained the copyrights from that. I mean, I'll go out of my way to support Frogwares and anything else that's made in Ukraine. Oh, the graphics look better. I remember the Sinking City 1, the main character was just so unlikable. He was just... he didn't want to be there. He was tired. His eyes were bloodshot. I mean, I get it's a Lovecraftian game, but he was so bored. You know, he just didn't want to talk to anybody. He was just... which made him kind of funny. So hopefully the character in Sinking City 2 will be a little bit more interesting. One White Wolf says, skipped the Oscars yet again, but was thrilled to hear a Godzilla movie finally won one. Only took 70 years. Also, was happy Miyazaki made history directing the only 2 hand-drawn anime films to win. I also missed the Oscars. I was busy, as you can imagine, but I'm glad that the good creators got some recognition. Beetle says, hey Ox, love the Village and Biohazard videos. Thank you very much, Beetle. Had a blast with all of the Resident Evil games that I've played on the broadcast so far. Cactus 1052 says, hey Ox, I've been a viewer and a fan since you started covering New Vegas lore. Would you ever consider doing lore for games like Red Dead or Cyberpunk or other kinds of those games? I have considered it. It's certainly something I would love to do. I seriously considered Red Dead for a while because I loved the game and it had such an impact on me. I worry about the commitment because I know myself and I'm the kind of person where if I start something, I like to finish it, even if it doesn't make sense to do so financially. So I worry about starting a series on Red Dead and then have it not turn out well, but feel obliged to finish it for the sake of finishing the story. And that's what's happened with all of the other games I've covered from a lore perspective besides Fallout. I did an entire full series on L.A. Noire. I showed off every single case, talked with every character, covered the entire lore, and you know, it didn't pay off financially, but it was really rewarding to complete. I did the same for The Return of Obra Dinn. I realized it's not a AAA game, but I thought it was a compelling and interesting story, but not a lot of my viewers did. It did not get the views that I was hoping that it would get. So, do I really commit myself to another franchise and start doing lore for it without knowing whether or not it's going to pay off? I'm not sure. So, I've got a lot of questions that I got to figure out before I decide if I start doing content about other franchises as well. Alt Grendel says, Reveal is a new one you should look at. It was pretty short too. May only take you 1 streaming session. Reveal? It's not spelled like reveal. It's Rev-evil? Rev-evil. Alright, it's not gonna... It's not revival. Rev-E-I-L. Reveal. Weird. Reveal, I guess. Very positive. March of 2024. Reveal is a narrative first-person psycho-thriller game that focuses on story, puzzles, and exploration. Find out what's going on inside Walter Thompson and what his dark past at the Nelson Brothers Circus has to do with it. Okay. Yes, this looks like it would be right up my alley. Another good contender for Scotch and Smoke Rings. Very cool. Thank you, Alt Grendel. Zarteth on Kick says Reveal. Yeah, the demo was pretty good from what I recall. It looked interesting. Looks like the kind of game I like. Okay, as I said, I've got a thing to do for my son's band in a little bit. So I don't have a long time today, but let's dive in and sort of just run around a bit. Maybe we'll do a few quests, maybe not. I don't really remember where we left off. I remember after the computer crashed. It crashed during Cyberpunk. After my pipes burst and water went everywhere and the computer crashed and it knocked me out for a month. I tried playing Cyberpunk on this computer and it just wasn't working. I played a couple of hours, but I had to turn the quality way down and it was laggy and not responsive. So I've been saving most of it until I got this computer, and I'm looking forward to amping things up and seeing what we can really do to push the graphics in this game. Because I've been really impressed by the storytelling so far. And if it's got good storytelling, then that means it deserves to have a good to be shown off in its best. McChaster on YouTube says, "Hey Ox, enjoying the Phantom Liberty coverage. I ask you this: would you consider playing the game known as Disco Elysium? It is supremely good." I shall ask you this, McChaster: can you call yourself an Oxhorn fan if you don't know that Oxhorn already broadcast all of Disco Elysium from beginning to end about 3 years ago? Can you? I'm kidding. I'm just ribbing you a little bit there. But I did. I actually played all of Disco Elysium during its first version. I think it was 2020 when I played it. They didn't have all of the dialogue voiced at the time. Henry wasn't voiced. There was your internal narrative monologue guy that was voiced. The narrator was voiced, and a few minor characters had voiced dialogue, but most of the others didn't, which means I read 90% of the dialogue in Disco Elysium. But yeah, I broadcast that entire game, so if you're interested, check out my broadcasts of Disco Elysium. Beetle says, "My son, 8, and my daughter, 2, are watching The Village right now and helps me when I'm stuck. You're a good teacher, it seems. I thought I would share it with you." Resident Evil Village? Your 2-year-old daughter is watching Resident Evil. Look, okay, parents make all sorts. I don't let my kids watch my own content because of all of the blood and the violence. And Resident Evil Village is a pretty violent game, but anyway, I'm glad they are there to help you get through the tricky bits. It certainly has a lot of room for creativity and problem solving, which I'm sure they're having a lot of fun with. One White Wolf says, "I know you were not a big Outlast fan, but recently a co-op game, The Outlast Trials, came out. A co-op prequel. My favorite pastime in that game is throwing bottles and bricks at the mentally challenged." Yeah, that seems on brand with Outlast. Just putting something really horrible in their game. It wasn't the gameplay that I didn't like. I thought the gameplay and the setting and the horror elements were pretty good. They just kind of went too far at times. Like, I got through all of Outlast 1, and then at the very end, they throw a bunch of uncensored male dongs at us, and I'm like, really? This is at the very end of the game. We get through the entire thing without a bunch of male full frontal nudity, and then for no reason, they've got these 2 guys that are just guarding a doorway, and you walk by, and they're just swinging in the breeze. And I'm like, oh, and I'm broadcasting. I was broadcasting live at the time, and I had to quickly, it was awful. And then I'm like, well, surely, they'll warn you before doing that again in Outlast 2. And so I'm playing Outlast 2, and they just had a big pile of dead babies at the very beginning. I'm like, no, man, I can't do this. So, yeah, I think I'll probably skip the Outlast Trials, especially if there's a section where you throw bricks at the mentally handicapped. Okay. And that was your favorite part. All right, One White Wolf. We all have our own likes and desires, I guess. All right. Let's dive in and see where we left off.
Attention all Darktown residents. This is Kurt Hansen. An unmarked aircraft has crashed in our district. The crash site is now a restricted area. My people will proceed to secure.
Okay, I really need to figure out the cord situation for this new computer as it's pushing my microphone away from me. If I keep it up here... Okay, complete at least 3 gigs from Mr. Hands. Now I remember, yeah, I had gotten to the part... Okay, we had just walked out of here. We shot up all the voodoo guys in there. We felt kind of bad because we tried to save the one guy, but we couldn't, and so he's dead. All right, are you gonna crash the computer? No, it's not gonna crash. So far, so good. Greg Williams says, 2 sheep walk into a bar and Two sheep walk into a bar and Was it a bar in Boston? Let's go to the bar. Was that it? I'm here all night and watched a Fallout New Vegas video you did and slept with Benny. Kudos on that one, lol. I was exploring all options, and yes, one of the options is to sleep with Benny. Dr. Root says, are you going to play Starfield again? Someday, maybe.
Ah!
Got it. Why?
Ah! Shit!
Why do I always do that? Someday, maybe. Oh man, my relic is really malfunctioning. Okay, how do I get to quests? Journal. All right. 3 gigs for Mr. Hands. Okay, let's go to gigs. How do we do gigs? Gig. Go to the location of the gig you received from Mr. Hands. Okay, well, I've got a gig. Alt Grendel says frame rate looks off. Oh, you're right. The camera was fine, right? All right, well, these are growing pains, everybody. This is one of the reasons I'm making this broadcast a little short. I don't know exactly what to expect. The camera's fine though, right? Why is the frame rate off? Okay, hold on, let me check something. I've got an idea. What the heck? Why is it so bad? That's gotta be it. But if that's the case, then shoot, that's gonna push me out. I could try that, yeah, because I don't need it on that. I might have a solution. Because yeah, you're right. This is impossible. Okay, I think I've got an idea. So the problem. Flower Power says, "Hi Ox, hope you enjoyed your trip. It looks amazing and really enjoyed the videos. Looking forward to more Fallout videos. Take care." Thank you very much, Flower Power. I did enjoy the trip. It was amazing. But I'm also glad to be back because I've got a lot of stuff that I need to produce. Okay, so I'm just trying to brainstorm this. The problem is that the new video card in my brand new computer only has 1 HDMI output. And yet the way my setup was set up previously was that I needed at least 2 HDMI outputs. One to go to this monitor, which is where I see the chat, and the second one goes to my HDMI converter. It's my capture card, essentially, the capture card in my computer over there. Well, because I now only have 1 HDMI output, I sent that over here, and then I did a DV to HDMI converter for the gameplay. But that's probably what's slowing everything down. I should probably just put the HDMI output directly into the machine and plug that one into here. But I don't know if I can do that live or if that's going to mess everything up. I could try to do that live and see if that messes everything up. If it does, well, I'll have to finish another day. Let me swap a few things here. Okay, if that goes there, that goes there. So hold on, I'm performing computer surgery really quickly here. That goes there. We would need that one to go here. Okay, let's try it. Pulling it out. Oh, shit, come on, stupid. Yeah. Okay, so if that goes that, and that. Oh, okay, I'm going to lose the chat here because I'm unplugging the monitor. Here we go. All right, hold on. And that can go in here. Oh. The problem is that my dog, I told you that my dog chewed it up. So, it's all chewed up. So, I'm lucky that it was working at all. But then if we put this directly into that, it should. Okay. And then put this directly into that if we can, and then plug that into the DV. It's just so mangled. Right. Now I'm probably gonna have to fiddle with a few things. Okay, well this one is working at least. Let me get the chats back up. Yep, that looks good. All right, so the monitor worked. The big question is, did the other, let's see, is it mirroring it? It is. So it did. Okay, it's working. Now, was that the cause of the problem? No. That was not the cause of the problem. It was a little better. Huh. Well, then the only other way that I can figure this out is if I get a new capture card. But that wouldn't make sense because I'm using the exact same type of capture card for the camera. And the camera is buttery. It's perfect. So it's got to be somewhere in the communication between the video card and the capture card. I mean, I could use a different cord, but that's really the only thing. Maybe I just need to add the source again. Let me try adding the source again. 1 second. No! Why is it doing this? Well, I mean, I'm glad you guys are with me here to, you know, troubleshoot this issue, because this is what professional broadcasters do. Machiel Cosmos says DisplayPort for monitor and VSync on can help to set FPS to 60. I have my monitor plugged into the DisplayPort, and so on my, the problem is, that's not the problem, because I'm getting buttery smooth gameplay. What I see on my computer, on my monitor, is perfect. Couldn't be better. But what you're seeing on my capture computer is not. And I don't understand it, because I'm using the exact same setup between the camera and the computer that's playing the game. So something is being lost in translation, either mechanically through the hardware that I have installed, or there's a setting that I need to tweak in OBS to get this to look better. And that's what I'm kind of tinkering with now, but I probably should be doing this on my own time and not with you guys here. Let me... AD says, troubleshooting streams are fun, Ox. Don't worry. Oh, good. I'll hold you to that. I'm going to try a couple more things here. No, it's not. Nothing I'm doing is working, and I'm gonna have to figure this out. Right. I'm gonna have to figure this out off camera, because I can't troubleshoot live. As I have to unplug this and plug in that and fiddle with this and fiddle with that. So, I mean, at least I know that it's not the adapter that I just purchased, the one that got chewed up on my dog, because this monitor is working fine. It's great. It's just weird that a better, newer graphics card would produce an output that's jankier. So that can't be it. It's got to be something to do with my settings, and I'm going to have to figure that out on my own time. Anyway, that's it. I mean, it was still good to go live and see everybody again today. I had a lot to talk about, and I'm sure you guys are going to have even more questions about my trip and everything that went on, and I'm happy to answer those. So the plan for now, if I can get this to work, is to go live again on Wednesday, and then of course Thursday for Scotch and Smoke Rings, and I'm going to be working hard on new lore videos, new shorts, lots of new content for everybody. So thanks for coming to my short, abbreviated Monday broadcast of Cyberpunk. And I hope that when we play this game next Monday, next week, we'll actually be able to make some progress, and that it looks as amazing on your end as it does on mine. Thanks again for coming. Have a happy, wonderful Monday, and I'll see you soon with more lore videos and more live streams. Bye-bye now.